Hello everybody, and welcome to another video brought to you by me, Jack, VEG TV. And wanted to do a follow-up on my last video. A few of you didn't like my computer-generated voice video, and that is okay, because I too don't like them. But I did that because couldn't see breaking out the video camera for a 30-second video. And so I thought that would just be the quickest and the easiest. Anyway, wanted to do a follow-up on that and verbalize and show you everything that's happened. Made my trip, made it successfully. Still ingesting all the video from the cards onto the hard drives. I got that project just about complete. I erred and stuck some in the wrong folder and they got all mixed in, and so now I got to go in and try to clean that mess up. So just as soon as I can, I'll start pumping out video from the trip. I got some really cool things, some interesting things, and I think you might like. So I know I got a couple of viewers from one of my stops that I made that's waiting for that video to come out. So just as quick as I can, I will get them out. When I take these trips, I generally remove my hard drives from my computers and take them off site for obvious reasons. Did that, came back home, hooked everything up, and I had some issues with my computer, and that's why I haven't really posted much. That's why I haven't really commented much. I've been too busy trying to get my computer rebuilt, and both hardware and software, and get back to ripping and terrorizing. And I think I'm pretty doggone close to doing that. I had to replace, well, I didn't have to, but figure while I'm in here repairing the problems, I went ahead and upgraded to an SSD 1 terabyte hard drive for this, and that was pretty awesome. I plan on picking up another one for cash and getting that put in. I got this thing just so loaded with hard drives. I got 2 hard drives right here, and we swing on into here. I've got 3 more hard drives right here. The bottom hard drive is my SSD hard drive, and stuff like that. Now inside, and I apologize the video angles and all that good stuff, I'm lying here on the floor trying to do this for you. A couple of items here. My 2 fans up top, they stopped working, so I had to replace them. Trying to turn my brightness of my light down. So I figured, well, you know, that was going to cost me $60 for 2 fans. That's a little retarded. Let me go ahead and up my game, I guess. I went ahead and put a radiator in, and that is pretty awesome. I'm really digging that. Was not an exact fit for my computer case, so I used some zip ties, and that's doing the job. The red item right here on the right hand side is, well, there on the left hand side, that connects to mounts on top of the CPU, and has got these 2 cables right here. One's an input, one's an output port. Sorry about that. and they go from the side of the CPU up into the radiator. And then this right here is a CPU, is a RAM cooler. I have 32 gigs of RAM underneath there. And although I've never really had an issue with heat, I thought, you know, this would be just ducky. Because I had those two fans. Got fan there, fan in the case, power supply's got a fan, and got a fan right there. And then of course the video card's got a fan. And that's another problem. When I was piecing this all together, I noticed let's see if I can get the flashlight. There we go. I noticed my fans are not working. Now I could probably get in there and dork with them and see if it's fan issue or card issue or motherboard issue. But as some of you may know, that's a very expensive card. And when I bought it, I went ahead and bought a 4-year warranty on it. So I may just let them dork with it. The bad thing about that is you know, if they have to replace the card, there's a probability you just may get a used one that's refurbished as opposed to a brand new one. And it's like, I didn't spend that kind of money to have a refurbished one. So I may dork with those fans on my own. See what happens. I'm not entirely sure that the motherboard is not the culprit. The sensors are saying that board is just burning up along with the hard drive, and I touch them and they're not burning up at all. You know, you can put your hand on it without any issue. No heat. So may have to get another motherboard. I built this original system about 7 years ago, so it may be time. Who knows? Now, as stated, besides those hard drives in the computer there, I do have those hard drives right there. And on the other side of the silver one was another silver one. That thing had gotten so hot that you could fry an egg on it, and I was afraid that it was a hard drive. Luckily, it was the controller. And I thought about repurposing the cases, update the hard drives in them, because some of them, like these silver ones, are really old. I think I bought them back in 2011. They're 2 terabyte. But storage drives, I figured, you know, cases would be fine. But after this, and to repurchase just this piece alone, financially, logistically, and blurriness, out of focusness, it did not make sense. Fine. I bought this thing also because trying to troubleshoot, and that did tell me that hard drive was fine. I ended up putting the hard drive in my computer and working with it, so not a problem. This thing was working just fine up until the other day when I was rooting around up in here. I accidentally bumped this and I no longer have power. Check the power supply and no power coming from it, so I have to figure that out. This is the controller here that we saw earlier. Came out of that case. Look at that here in just a minute. Another thing I lost a hard drive. Well, I didn't lose it. I know right where it's at. It's right here on my desk in my hand. But controller, I thought I lost the controller on this one. So I bought another one. This is the original one. I bought another one. Had to wait for that to come all the way from China. Just to find out that that's not my problem after all. It's a very good plausibility that it's not the controller, that it's actually the hard drive with a park head issue. One of the things I'm going to do before tackling that, because that's kind of a spendy thing, is I need to try to remove the BIOS right here off of this original card and then put it on the donor card, see if that is the problem, see if there's an issue with this card and the BIOS is good and it went just fine. As you can see, that's really tiny. I may or may not be able to do that. What I'm going to do before screwing this one up is I'm going to pull it off of this one that you can't see out of frame, the donor one, and see if I could pluck it off of there, and if I'm successful. If I am, great, then I'll move forward and pull this one off. If I mess up the other board, well, then I'll probably just pause there. The next thing would be to buy some software. That's about $80, $90, and you plug into this port right here, and then you're able to go into the hard drive and reset the heads and tell it to knock it off. Now, from what I read, what I've seen, these Seagates can be problematic, and this head issue is common. Although, for me, like I said, I've been running this since, I believe, 2011. Yeah. So I bought these brand new, and this is the first time I've had an issue out of any of them. The other one is still chugging right along, not a problem. I don't know what's on this hard drive. It may be very, time consumer, waste of money, all that good stuff. But I just don't remember when that thing died or when it went missing. As you see, I have a lot of hard drives, and even though I do keep them named, if I don't access the drive often, then I forget, and I just don't know what's on it. This is the controller for the other drive. I figured since we're bumped in, we would take a quick peek at that. I know people like you, like me, like somebody, enjoy looking at the guts of things. And I wouldn't have had a problem repurposing this as a storage drive. Well, that's what it's been used. But like I said, this is really not worth it to replace. So move forward with other plans, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. Now, another thing I forgot to mention of things falling apart while I was gone, or upon my return, however you want to look at it, was I have a USB 2.0 8-port. Oh shoot, forgot what it's called all of a sudden. Anyway, I think that thing went goofy as well. I needed to check that out and see what happened there. All of a sudden my mouse and keyboard, even though it's seen as far as being mice and keyboard, they're not being seen as far as the manufacturer. As soon as I unplugged it from there, plugged them directly into the computer, it worked just fine. They were seen just fine, no issues. So further investigation on that. And then another item I had kind of go gunny bag on me was a AM/FM receiver that it's been a device under test now for just about a year. Been working fine. Well, it needs a cleaning, but otherwise it was working okay. And then all of a sudden, not okay. Setting up for this video, this section of the video, as I was pulling out my video camera and tripod, which I leave mounted, coupled together because I use them often. You know, tear them apart don't make sense. So I just leave them be and set it off to the side and grab it when I need it. And as I was putting it in place, I noticed one of the legs kept getting longer and longer and longer, and it's like, well, okay. When the locks became unlocked, no big deal. Reached down to lock it, and I noticed that the tab had fallen off. And thought maybe it was just the plastic coating fell off the tab, and I'd slide it back on. No, the metal part broke. And as you can see in this close-up, it did just that. And because of such, replacement part, I would essentially have to just buy another tripod. It is a vintage Velbon tripod from the 80s. Awesome tripod, never had a problem. Enjoy it. I don't take it out in the field much, but I have used it a few times in the field, and it's a fantastic tripod. So as long as I can keep it in place here in the office, I'll continue on using it for this. I've been using it primarily for my videos here for year and a half anyway. So this piece I bought from Hong Kong. Couldn't find them stateside at the moment, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on another drive because I really didn't need the drive. I need the content that's on the drive. As soon as I can garner that, then I'm going to get rid of the drive. But my story is this. They wrapped it up in this, which is fine, and then they wrapped it up in this, which is even fine, and then this is where I'm going with the story. They wrapped it up in this, and of course they put it in a box. But that's not my story. My story is this newspaper right here. And this newspaper is dated March 25th of 2019. Which you'll see over here in the other corner. Just thought I'd bring you in so you could see the header. And apparently we had some kind of major explosion. So that is kind of cool. Looks like they're working on the Pillsbury Doughboy down here. Okay, maybe not. Thought that was cool. Okay, well, that will do it for this time-wasting video. Oh, no, it's not. There's more to it. And let's go to that now. I almost forgot. storage solutions. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and pluck all those USB drives off of my desk, and instead of having a gangle, I'm going to put it in this right here. It should fit underneath my my bench there. In fact, this video really isn't about this. It's more about what is broken. So, you know, there's not going to be a video of how to do all this or anything like that. Well, let's take a quick peek at this. I may piece this all together, and I may include it in the tail end of this video. But again, it's not about this device. It's you know, part of. So this is kind of nice and small there. I like that. So the one thing I did not like about the case is where the power plug plugs in. You would think, you would hope it would have been on the rear, but it's not. It's right here on the side. But this case offers USB-C and a fan. And a port that I wanted to open up and see what's hidden under there. It does have fan control, and it has sync, and then on and off, and then all your idiot lights. This is not a network storage device. This is not RAID. I did not want RAID. This is a DAS device. And right now I can't remember what device. DSA, device standalone. DSA device, that's what it is. Did not want RAID, wanted just this. So somehow magically the case opens. There we go. That's metal, nice thick piece of metal there. And I guess I should get my light situated better. And if you look down there, you got all the electronicas. So you just stab your, there's rails that your hard drive rides on. See right there. And you just stab it into place, so that's kind of cool. Did, as you see here, come with one of these. Oh, never mind. My brain went elsewhere with that. I was going to say, came with a SSD thing, but no. So, speaking of that, since my equipment is getting old here, and in technology, age, and all that, I'm going to update all my hard drives to that right there. So these are not cheap. That was $250 just for that alone. Case was another $150, I think, right in there. So my plans is I'm going to buy one of these a month for the next 8 to 12 months. I'm going to buy another one of these. So I'll fill these up. So that'll be 8 of them. And then a couple more in my computer itself. And then I want to get one more SSD drive for cache. And I think I will be okay for the time being. As you see, this is nice and small in comparison to what I'm currently using. You know, I could stack. I can get 3 to 4 of these cases on my desk compared to these. So that is that's what I'm going to do. My computer is old. It don't support C, but it does have 3.0 on it, and this does come with a 3.0 adapter. Boy, I got to tell you, opening the box for this, no, not that, for the radiator. Man, that thing was a pain in the butt. It took me quite a while to figure out how to open that thing up. I was so close to to knifing it. So here's the power supply, and it's just a 4-pin. And this is C, power cord. But what I'm not seeing is the C to USB adapter. I thought it came with one, so, well. Nope. Auction, it looked like it came with a adapter, so I'm going to have to buy an adapter. No big deal. So, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Well, I'm a goober. I got tripped up, sitting there tripping on the lack of that cable, thinking, well, I thought an adapter came with it. Those cables are common. I've got a few. So, it's just a C on one end and a standard USB 3 on the other. So, takes care of that problem. What a goober. Alright, well, just wanted to come back and clarify that like butter. And we'll catch you on the next one. Alright, so I lied. That was not the end of the video. As I was trying to piece this together, I ran into some challenges. But before I get into that, I did want to mention something else that I totally forgot to mention in the beginning of this video, and that is something else that had fallen apart on me just before the trip start. The day prior, I was going through all my camera gear, cleaning it up, cleaning lenses, making sure settings were proper, and formatting cards, and getting all my ducks in a row as far as camera gear was concerned. So I get to my dash cam and was doing just that, cleaning it up. This has been a fantastic camera. You've seen this camera in other videos. Any video that you've seen, well, from the car, it was from this camera. So I powered this up and I was cleaning it, going through the settings, the menus, making sure everything was where I needed it, and about ready to format the card, or maybe I formatted the card already. I don't remember. But I had to step away for a few moments and left the camera turned on. I sat it down on my desk, which I've done 100 times before. No big deal. Finished up what I needed to do, came back, and the camera was still powered on, and I reached down to grab it, and as I did, the timer kicked in, camera powered down, So I reached up and I powered it back up. And when I did, that was it. Camera, no working no more. All that happens is that yellow light comes on. So quick research on the internet said that it could be a issue with the power switch. Put a piece of tape on it. So I did just that. I've never had a lick of problems with this camera. This camera has been an awesome camera. I bought this brand new, and you know, it's been a fantastic camera. However, I think this rubber here is starting to let go. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I couldn't get this camera revised, and it's like, gosh, you know, what in the world? And like I said, this was the day before we were supposed to leave. This was like at about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when this had happened. Researching cameras, locally a GoPro for the one I was interested in that had Wi-Fi. This has Wi-Fi on it. Was going to cost me $500, and wasn't too excited about that. And there was something else with the camera that I wasn't excited about. Can't remember now. But you know, I really didn't have time to research. I researched a couple of cameras, and that was it. Time was running out. What do I do? What do I do? I'm not a big Amazon kind of guy. I prefer eBay. I do 99% of my purchasing off of eBay. And so I went ahead and seen what other cameras this brand offered, because like I said, I've been very happy with it. And so I come across this one. There we go. Anyway, that's SJ Cam SJ8 Pro with Wi-Fi, 4K. This is also a 4K, but this is kind of a hokey pokey 4K. Never used 4K. So went to Amazon, ordered this and a few other accessories, and I had like just moments to complete my purchase. And so I can get the camera shipped to me the very same day. So I did that. It was about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening time, 8 o'clock in the evening time. It was late when the camera rolled in. So I had absolutely no time whatsoever to familiarize myself with the camera. I just ran through the settings just as quick as I could, set them up the best way I thought they should be, and went to bed and wished it the fondest adieu, and learned the camera along the way on my trip, which I'm still learning. This is a really good camera. I'm very pleased with it, very happy. You'll see the video when I do my video from the video from it when I do my video from my trip. So any mobile video from my trip and from this point forth, unless otherwise stated, will be out of this camera. So that is that. Now, to carry on with my short stories to make them long, working on this device, putting my hard drives in. I got my 10 terabyte stabbed in there just fine, and one of my other hard drives stabbed in there just fine. Went to put my third one in, would not align for the life of me. No matter how hard I pushed, and I didn't want to push too hard because I didn't want to break things. Would not get it stabbed in. So as you see, I tore it apart, took the back end off. No video of that. And I'm only bringing you back in because I thought, hey, maybe you would like to check out the board. And so this is the board. Adjust my lighting for you a little bit. There we go. So that's what that looks like. So I went ahead and plugged the hard drives into the board outside of the case. They plug in just fine. All the headers are lined up even. I thought maybe they might have been soldered in at an angle, but just eyeballing it. Of course, we all know how good my eyeball is. They appear to be in their square. Without taking a right angle to it, it appears to be in there fine. So I'm not sure what's happening with it. But like I said, I did want to bring you in and let you look at the board since I had it out of the case. Alright, well, I'm not going to finalize this video just yet, just in case I need to come back and show you something else for some other reason. This is the back door. And I was wondering what this panel here was for. As you can see, it comes right here. So it looks like it might have been used for USB. Whereas on this one, it's they're using that for the power adapter. Like I said, won't sign out just in case. So if this video ends now, then you know this was a success.